Let's get started with our first news. Charles Oliveira is officially eyeing his UFC return, and he's got a very specific name on his mind: Max Holloway. Currently sitting at number 3 in the UFC's lightweight rankings, the former champion is eager to step back into the octagon and make a statement. After a few ups and downs in recent years, Charles is looking to bounce back with a big win, and what better way to do that than by avenging one of the strangest moments of his career? In a recent interview, Oliveira expressed real interest in running it back with Holloway, whom he fought nearly a decade ago, all the way back in 2015. That bout didn't end the way anyone expected. In fact, it ended in one of the most bizarre scenes we've ever witnessed in the UFC. Oliveira suddenly dropped to the ground mid-fight, clutching his throat in visible pain. At first, many feared he had suffered a serious injury, what was believed at the time to be a torn esophagus. But as the dust settled and Oliveira went through medical evaluations, it turned out that the situation was even more alarming. He later revealed that it wasn't an esophagus issue at all. The real cause was a severe neck injury that he believes was re-aggravated during that fight. The aftermath: he was temporarily paralyzed for several days. That's right, a young rising star left motionless from the neck down for days, all stemming from a freak accident inside the cage. Fast forward almost 10 years, and that moment still sticks with Charles. But now he's older, more experienced, and more determined than ever. He made it clear in his interview he wants that rematch. He even said, "I really asked for this fight, why not? It would be a great fight." According to him, Holloway has already said he'd be willing to run it back too. So this isn't just a pipe dream, it's a potential reality. Still, Oliveira isn't trying to rush into things. He's keeping a cool head and said he wants to take things one step at a time. Meanwhile, Holloway is preparing for a big fight of his own, taking on Dustin Poirier next weekend. Regardless of that outcome, a rematch between Holloway and Oliveira would be massive for fans. Their shared history, the bizarre ending of their first encounter, and their elite skill levels make this one of the most compelling possible matchups in the lightweight division. If the UFC books it, you can bet the MMA world will be watching. Now let's move on to the second news. Max Holloway has made it clear he's very interested in an Ilia Taporia rematch at lightweight. Yes, you heard that right. This isn't just idle talk or hype. Max himself has gone on record saying he wants that fight, and fans everywhere are already buzzing about the possibility. Recently, Holloway did an interview where he explained exactly why this matchup appeals to him so much. He said he was over the moon when he first heard that Taporia was moving up to the 105-pound division. A lot of people were confused or even shocked by Ilia's decision to go for the lightweight title. Max acknowledged that some folks were probably thinking, "Oh my god, what the hell is he doing?" But not Max. He was genuinely thrilled. According to him, he might have been the happiest man alive when he learned that Taporia not only moved up but also got the title shot. For Holloway, it's not just about wanting another big payday or adding another name to his resume. It's personal. He talked openly about their shared history. Remember, these two have fought before, and there was real tension around that BMF title experience. Holloway knows Taporia likes to walk around with that BMF belt and wear it proudly, but Holloway had a challenge for him. He said flat out, if Taporia wants an authentic one, he knows exactly where to go, straight to Max himself. He wasn't just throwing shade either. Max used that moment to talk about what makes the UFC so special. He said the entire sport is built around moments. That's what keeps fans invested, what drives headlines, and what etches fights into history. For Max, it's all about delivering those unforgettable moments that make people stand up and cheer. He even referenced UFC 300, talking about how they created a moment there that people won't forget anytime soon. Max believes he can do it again. He said if he goes out there and puts on a show, if he gets the fans excited and invested, then who's to say he isn't fighting for another title by the end of this year, or maybe early next year. That kind of confidence is classic Holloway, unfiltered, honest, and laser focused on legacy. So now the big question becomes, do you want to see Max Holloway versus Ilia Taporia 2 at lightweight? Can you imagine the hype leading up to that rematch? Both guys are absolute killers with incredible striking, iron wills, and a real history together. The build-up would be electric, and honestly, who do you think would take it if they ran it back? This is the kind of fight that isn't just another entry on someone's record. It's the stuff that defines careers. It's a battle between two elite, dangerous, and charismatic fighters who know how to sell a fight, and more importantly, how to deliver in the octagon. So let us know what you think about this potential matchup, because it's already generating some serious buzz in the MMA world. Now let's move on to another news story that's been making waves in the MMA world. Ilia Taporia absolutely went off on Islam Makhachev, calling him the most two-faced person he's ever come across. This wasn't some subtle jab or offhand comment, it was a full-on no-holds-barred verbal assault in a recent interview. And what makes it even wilder is that just a few weeks earlier, Ilia was showing Islam a lot of respect. He even said publicly that he understood Islam's ambition to become a double champion. But now, Ilia is flipping the script entirely. He's furious. He's accusing Islam of being a coward who's ducking the exact same opportunity Ilia himself has been chasing. According to Ilia, Islam flat out refused to fight him at lightweight, saying that Ilia was too small for him. Ilia says that excuse was insulting, and yet now Islam is the one moving up in weight and begging for the same type of opportunity he denied to Ilia. Ilia didn't mince words at all. Here's how El Matador put it in his interview with Alvaro Canero, translated into English. He said, and I quote, "Islam is the most two-faced person I've ever come across. He refused to fight me because I was too small. Now he's the one moving up, begging for the exact same opportunity he denied me. Ali should be grateful I didn't ruin his golden boy." Those are strong words. Ilia made it crystal clear that he believes Islam and his team didn't want that fight when it made sense. He claims they ducked him when the fans were demanding it. He didn't hold back at all, saying that fight was exactly what the world wanted to see. According to Ilia, he gave them every reason to accept it. He offered the matchup on a silver platter, but they turned it down and ran away like cowards. Now, some people are asking why Ilia isn't following Islam up to welterweight to try and chase him down. Ilia had an answer for that too. He said he has no interest in wasting his time on someone who's too scared to face him. If someone is going to run away from the fight, he's not going to chase them. He'll just move on and focus on opponents who actually want to fight. So where is Ilia Taporia looking next? Well, all signs point to a potential clash with Paddy Pimblett. That's right, with Dana White already ruling out other top contenders like Gamrot and Tsarukyan for Ilia's next fight, Paddy's name keeps coming up. And let's not forget, Paddy himself is openly campaigning for this massive showdown. He wants it just as badly. Sure, there's still a chance the UFC could go a more traditional route and book a title eliminator between Paddy and someone like Arman, or even Justin Gaethje. But let's be real here, the UFC loves Big E names and Big E personalities. Ilia and Paddy are two of the most polarizing stars in the sport today. Both have huge followings, loud personalities, and the ability to sell a fight like few others. A matchup between them wouldn't just be another fight, it would be a guaranteed main event spectacle. It's the kind of fight that gets fans talking, sells out arenas, and racks up massive pay-per-view numbers. So don't be surprised if the UFC skips the formalities and goes straight to Ilia Topuria versus Paddy Pimblett. If that happens, expect fireworks. Because these are two men who know how to bring the heat both in the cage and on the microphone, and the fan base would absolutely go wild for it. Now let's move on to another big story that's turning heads in the MMA world. Renato Moicano has openly called out Michael Chandler for what he's proposing as a loser retires matchup. That's right, a fight where the stakes are as personal and dramatic as they can get. It's a bold move from Moicano, and it shows he's absolutely willing to risk it all to make a statement. This all came after Moicano's tough unanimous decision loss to Beneil Dariush at UFC 317 last month. Instead of ducking tough questions or hiding away, Moicano went on his own podcast, Show Me the Money, and laid everything out for fans. He spoke honestly about what comes next in his career, and he didn't sugarcoat a thing. When someone on the show asked him directly, who do you want to fight next? Moicano didn't even pause. He said he'd be completely honest about it. He wants the oldest guy in the division. He clarified it's not Dariush, it's Michael Chandler. The reasoning? He thinks the timing for this matchup just couldn't be better. Both fighters are at similar points in their careers, both are veterans of countless wars in the cage, and both know exactly what's at stake every time they fight. Moicano even explained that he's been calling out Chandler for a while now. This isn't some brand new idea he just came up with after his loss. He's wanted this fight for a long time. And in his own words, if he loses to Chandler at this point, maybe it really is time for him to walk away. That's why he's not just calling for the fight, he's proposing to put it all on the line. He laid it out with zero hesitation on the podcast. How about this, bro? Renato versus Michael Chandler. Loser retires. 100%. I like it. Sign that contract, my brother. He's contigo makes the pravist. It's a crazy concept, but also a truly compelling one. Imagine the level of drama, the emotion, the intensity, going into a fight where the loser literally has to walk away from the sport for good. Both Moicano and Chandler are known for being absolute warriors in the octagon. They never back down from a brawl, they're fan favorites for their all-action styles, and neither man is afraid to take risks. A fight like this wouldn't just be another bout on a card, it would be a main event worthy spectacle with real stakes. You're not just talking about bragging rights or rankings, you're talking about careers, legacies, futures. So what do you think about this idea? Would you want to see Renato Moicano versus Michael Chandler in a loser retires fight? It's the kind of matchup that would get the entire MMA community talking. It's raw, it's dramatic, and it's the type of thing that would have fans glued to their screens, knowing that for one of these men, this could be the final walk to the octagon. One way or another, it would be a night to remember. Let's move on to another news item that has a lot of fans talking. Cory Sanhagen is opening up about his strategy and mindset heading into a potential clash with Merab Dvalishvili. This is the kind of matchup that instantly gets the bantamweight division buzzing. Both men are elite contenders, and both bring very different, dangerous styles to the octagon. Sanhagen is best known as one of the division's most creative and dangerous strikers. Much like Sean O'Malley, he has made his name by delivering highlight reel knockouts and using slick technical striking to dismantle his opponents. But he's also brutally honest about his own shortcomings. That's something fans appreciate about him. He doesn't try to hide behind excuses when things go wrong. In a recent interview, Sanhagen talked candidly about the lessons he learned from his loss to Umar Nurmagomedov. He admitted he made real mistakes in that fight. According to him, he went in with the wrong mindset about how to deal with a high-level grappler. Instead of trying to engage intelligently in grappling exchanges or counter them effectively, he tried too hard to avoid them completely. He said he ran away from those wrestling exchanges too much, and because of that, he couldn't really do what he usually does in the cage. That experience stuck with him. He described it as a big lesson, one that he's determined not to repeat. Sanhagen said that against someone who is an excellent grappler, you can't just run, you can't give them the kind of control or momentum they're looking for. He knows Merab is one of those guys, a relentless, suffocating wrestler who will make you work for every single position, every inch of space. Merab's reputation speaks for itself. He's a cardio machine with world-class wrestling, and he doesn't slow down. He overwhelms opponents, chains takedowns, and breaks their will over the course of 3 or 5 rounds. Sanhagen is well aware of what he's up against, and he seems determined to prove he's evolved enough to handle that style. Going into this fight, Cory is promising a new approach. He's been clear that he's preparing for wrestling exchanges rather than just trying to avoid them. He wants to meet that challenge head on, knowing that he'll have to battle for every position and make Merab work just as hard in return. It's a sign of maturity and experience that he's willing to adapt his game so thoroughly. So what do you think? Can Sanhagen actually beat Merab if and when the two finally face off? It's not just an exciting matchup on paper, it's one that could have serious implications for the bantamweight division. The winner could easily be next in line for a title shot. Both men have what it takes to wear gold, and their clash would be a real test of styles, striking brilliance against relentless wrestling pressure. For fans, it's exactly the kind of fight that defines the sport. Technique, heart, game planning, and toughness all rolled into one matchup. This one is going to be special if it gets made. Finally, let's move on to the last big news of the day. Islam Makhachev versus Jack Della Maddalena is officially not happening on the highly anticipated Abu Dhabi card. This is something fans have been speculating about for weeks. The matchup made sense on paper, especially with the UFC's history of stacking the Abu Dhabi events with high-profile fights. A lot of people were genuinely expecting to see that welterweight clash happen there, but now we know for sure it's not going to take place in Abu Dhabi. The confirmation came straight from Ali Abdelaziz himself. He appeared on the Pound for Pound podcast hosted by Kamaru Usman and Henry Cejudo. If you're an MMA fan and haven't checked out that episode yet, it's well worth a watch. They covered a ton of fascinating topics, not just about Islam's next steps, but also the drama with Ilia Taporia, and even behind-the-scenes details about how UFC matchmaking really works. During the show, Ali revealed that Makhachev versus Jack Della Maddalena will not happen on the Abu Dhabi card at all. Instead, they're planning to move that fight to what Ali described as a big arena in the United States. It's not just a relocation, it's a clear sign they want this to be a huge spectacle. Ali even joked a bit on the podcast about the Ilia Taporia situation. He said Islam would have fought Ilia 100% if that plan had actually come together. A lot of people online have been saying Islam wouldn't take the fight, that he'd duck Taporia, but Ali shut that talk down. According to him, Islam was absolutely willing. He even shared a little detail about Hunter Campbell, one of the UFC's top execs, traveling all the way to Dagestan to sit down with Islam and try to work out his next move. Allah also addressed why Islam wouldn't fight Belal Muhammad. It's something fans have speculated about because Belal is another top contender at welterweight. But Allah said it's simple, those guys are friends. Islam is fiercely loyal to his team. He doesn't want to hurt someone he's close with, and that kind of loyalty is something Allah really respects about him. But just because Islam won't fight Belal doesn't mean he's shying away from big challenges. Ali made it clear Islam is ready to test himself in a new weight class and take on dangerous opponents. The move to welterweight is a real strategic step in Islam's career. He's looking to build a legacy that includes being a champion in multiple divisions, something only the greatest fighters have accomplished. So while fans in Abu Dhabi might be disappointed, they won't see Islam versus Jack Della Maddalena live. The UFC clearly has BG plans for this fight. Ali teased that they're looking at one of the biggest arenas in the United States for this event. It's going to be designed as a major spectacle, with a huge crowd and global attention. The UFC knows how to build hype, and this matchup will absolutely have the world watching once they officially announce the date and venue. So there you have it, from Charles Oliveira's comeback plans and Max Holloway's rematch ambitions to Ilia Toporia's fiery words for Islam Makhachev, Ronaldo Moicano's retirement challenge to Michael Chandler, Cory Sanhagen's strategy for Merab Dvalishvili, and Islam's next big move. There's a lot going on in the world of MMA right now. Stay tuned for even more updates, and let us know in the comments which of these matchups you're most excited to see.